Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host, Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, Howard's Blend. Howard is the host of Howard's Blend podcast. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Howard Blend. Howard, welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Love being on the show. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it very much. Howard, let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to start your podcast, Howard's Blend?
Yeah. So in essence, I wanted to start the podcast back in 2016, but actually didn't take action on it until 2019 when I released the first episode. But it, as of right now, it focuses on improving spirit, mind, and body. So each episode either focuses on one of those or all three. But the original purpose of the show was to help promote a supplement company, which I didn't create at the time in 2016, so I didn't start the podcast. But now I have it created, the supplement company. So it's a way to help promote that as well. So we talk a lot about supplement science, different ingredients in your supplements, what supplements do, what the science says it is, and also health-related topics like diseases, et cetera. We talked about diabetes. This is just one example of it. So,
Wonderful. This is good. So it's good educating people, creating an awareness at the same time. It's helping your business at this two in one. And you are.
That's correct. That's correct. Yes, sir.
Howard, you are not as good as you think. You are better, man. You are like trying to win on both sides, giving value at the same time, running a business at the same time.
I'm glad that this is live and being recorded so I can play this for my wife and she can know that I'm of value.
I get it. Sometimes you may have to do the same thing for me as well, So Howard, as you are a business owner, what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid when you are trying to grow your business or run your business,
So I put these in the order of the biggest to, I guess, the least, even though the least is still a big mistake. But the first would be not taking action. So quick example, or you could say procrastination as well. Yeah. I wanted to start the supplement company. My oldest memory was in 2008.
Oh my
but
God.
I did not take action until the end of 2019. So you can see that's a long time. Yeah. So this is the old saying, everything will not be, it will never be perfect. Yeah. You will never have the right amount of resources, the right amount of money, people, time, etc. You just have to take action and then improve as you go. So that's one. Mm-hmm. 2, I would say, is exclude and or audit or edit a relationship with energy drainers. I think in my 3rd episode of my podcast, I described traits of true friends and loser friends. And so it's more, you could say, loser friends. So if you hang around people and let's say I tell a close friend that, hey, I want to start this podcast. I have an episode to record tonight. And then he or she calls me and says, hey, let's go out to go drink or go party. Yeah. Then it's going to pull me away. And so now it's my responsibility to either edit or cut them out of my life. But it's best to just try to avoid them in the whenever they show their true colors, I guess, because they don't have your best interest in mind if they're like that. And 3 would be distractions. So if you have, I think of an example, if I have time to work, like I want to work on the website, which I'm working on right now, and I set an hour or so aside, that's avoiding watching TV, avoiding the phone, which is a huge distraction. Yeah. Me included, I've said it many times, well, I don't have time for this. I don't have time for that. Well, okay, do I not have time for it? Or did I have the time, but I wasted it through distractions? Yeah. So that's the three big mistakes.
This is amazing, man. You learn after sitting on that for 11 years on not doing the business and 3-4 years on not starting the podcast. So the number 1, not taking action. So that was a quick action taken on your side, man.
What is it? The time's going to pass anyway, so I might as well do it. And I'm not getting any younger, so got to act now.
See, folks, you're watching this. That's amazing. You really sharing your own personal experience you have gone through. So when the opportunity is there and you're thinking about it and everything, you checked everything, now just do it. Okay, don't sit on it because it's time is not stopping for you.
Exactly. As I said before, there will never be a perfect time to do it. Oh, I'm not ready. I don't have this ready. It's never. You're going to wait till you're going to be dead, and you still won't be the perfect time to do it. So you just got to do it.
Yeah, you mentioned about the dead. When we go, that's not a perfect time to leave anyway. There's never a perfect time. So,
Correct.
so Howard, I'm sure while you're going through setting up the business, setting up the podcast, there is so many failures in our life. First of all, do we agree on this?
Yes.
Okay. Do you mind sharing your greatest failure in a business? What did you learn from it, and how did you recover from that?
Well, my greatest failure is what I mentioned in the list of mistakes would be procrastinating for 11 plus years. I mean, I think if I would have started it in 2008, I would have either grown to a huge company possibly, or I would have learned that maybe this wasn't right for me. Maybe I enjoy learning about the supplements, how they work, but maybe the business side is really not for me.
Mhm.
And then I would have had that much more time to look for another avenue. So that would be my biggest mistake.
And what did you learn from it?
I learned from that you have to take action. Just
Yeah.
do it. If you have an idea, there's ways to do it. If you don't have the money for it, there's still ways you can work on it, even if you don't have, all the money available to do it. There's still things you can do. You can still promote it. You can still learn about it. The show, I'm learning about how the supplements work. You can still network with people, talk to people. Before I started the supplement, I had no clue what to do. I knew a little bit about the supplements, no clue about the business side. I started calling manufacturers, and then thankfully they were great and they started teaching me. They got on the phone with me, even though they knew they weren't going to get a sale. They still taught me. And so every little bit I learned.
Yeah, yeah. And how did you recover from that eventually? How did you end up in starting them? That's your recovery part.
Yeah, I just eventually I just took what I learned from listening to podcasts, watching videos, talking to salespeople, talking to people in the business. And I took that and I said, okay, this is what I know now. Let me take what I know and get started. So I found a manufacturer and we worked out all the details, and yeah, their price was right. The formula is pretty close to what I'm looking for. But again, it's just started it, and there's always room to grow and then make it better, always improving. So yeah, I was taking the information that I learned and said, okay, I already have this. Stop. I don't need to research anymore. I know enough now to take action on it. So that's what I did.
Wonderful, wonderful, Howard. Amazing failure. You learned so much from your failure. So, thank you so much.
Sure.
In now, after all the experiences, let's switch the side to get on your success side. What are your top three success secrets based on your experience of running a business?
Okay. Yeah. So I have three. And again, it's from the most vital to, I guess, least vital. But number one would be what we talked about: progress, not perfection. Perfection. And I've gone through this. I have friends who've gone through this where it's not perfect. Well, perfection is a disguise for insecurity, which is another word for fear. You're just afraid to do it, or you're not afraid to do it. As I actually said in the first episode of the podcast, fear is an anticipation of a negative outcome from taking the action. You're not really afraid of taking the action. You're afraid of the consequences of that action that you're taking. So, but just like with the supplement company and with the podcast, you can apply it to both. I didn't know anything about podcasting when I started, since we talked about the supplements earlier. So I just started watching YouTube videos, started listening to podcasts about how to do it. And as soon as I learned a little bit, then I went ahead and did my first episode. And then I said, okay, how can I improve it? So little by little, I tried to avoid the, analysis by paralysis. Just get enough information to move. And then I moved, and then I focus on trying to learn more. So progress, not perfection. Number two, and this relates to the second mistake, is build a circle of people who also want to grow that you hang out with. I'm part of a mastermind group. My buddy Mark Jeffrey is part of a mastermind group. All of us, even though we don't think alike, Rodney probably would relate to you. He's in real estate. He does real estate. Other people, they do coaching. Harmony, she does coaching for women, like to help with their confidence. We all do different professions, but we're all interested in growing. So then we help each other out. And so we're more likely to push ourselves harder when we know, hey, I have friends that are counting on me to do this because we're all supporting each other. We hold each other accountable. Why didn't you reach your goals this week, et cetera. So have a circle of people who are interested in growing. And then number three is, I would say, don't fear criticism. Because especially with a podcast, you're putting yourself out there for potentially anybody around the world to listen to you. And there's going to be haters. There's going to be people that say, oh, you're stupid or something like that. Well, more than likely, they're never going to like you anyway. So their opinion really doesn't matter. Just move on. And then the people, just like with the research intensive topics that I talk about, I say on there, hey, if I made a mistake, if I read the research wrong, please correct me. I'll be the first to admit I got something wrong. I've made episodes that were fully just focused on correcting mistakes I did in previous episodes. And I look at it as I learned something, but then if somebody says, hey, you got this wrong, come on the show. I'd love to interview you. Let's get the record straight, So it's don't be afraid of criticism, because if it's constructive, then it's meant to help you get better.
Yeah, and that's an opportunity to improve yourself. That's you put yourself in public. You said it wonderfully. The fear is false evidence appearing real.
That's correct.
It's not happening. And you're just, oh, what if this happened? What if this happened? Then you never get in a car and go on a road, okay? Because what if some accident happened? Millions of people on the road every day,
Yeah, absolutely. But what if the accident doesn't happen? Look at the other way. It's like, well, it could happen. Okay, well then there's a chance that it'll happen, a chance that it won't happen. But you can't live your life in fear.
In fear, yeah, definitely. Howard, really appreciate it. How people are watching this now can support you, how they can outreach to you, how they can support your podcast or some other, buy your supplements or whatever you like to.
Yeah, sure. So fingers crossed soon, I will have the actual supplement. The manufacturer's producing it right now. It's a plant-based protein powder called Howard's Blend. So I'm getting that cross promotion there all the way across. But the website should have it up and running, I would say probably in a couple of months. It's howardsblend.com. But if you want to reach out to me, my email, it's howard@howardsblend.com, HOWARDSBLEND.com. I spend most of the time on social, on Instagram. It's Howard's Blend, and then on LinkedIn as well. I believe it's just Howard Blend on LinkedIn. You'll see my beautiful face there, so you know it's me.
Of course, how they can, after looking at your picture, how they can ignore you? They have to follow you. Okay, so
absolutely.
Go ahead and give a nice follow.
My ego is this big now.
Yeah, I know. And my ID on social is everywhere, including TikTok, is a Meet Siddique, including Clubhouse, Instagram, LinkedIn, everywhere, same. Including my website is meetsiddique.com. Same thing, just like you are doing.
Yes, sir. I was looking at it. I was looking at your website.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Howard, we are about to wrap up. What I'd like you to share your today's guest experience on a Growth Hacking Secret show. What would you say about your today's guest experience on a Growth Hacking Secret show?
Yeah, it's I loved it. Mohammed, he makes it extremely easy to be on, very laid back. You don't have to be, you're always going to be nervous. I'm nervous right now, but just he makes it extremely comfortable to be a guest on the show. And it made it a lot of fun. I'm actually, even though I'm nervous, I'm actually having a lot of fun just sitting there getting to speak my mind. So, and having somebody that will listen, that's the best. And I appreciate being on.
Thank you so much for your kind words. Really appreciate it. Howard, what would you say as a final word?
Yeah, just final words. Anybody listening to this, if you listen to this episode. Again, support Muhammad here. He's a wonderful man, the time that I've known him. And if you listen to my podcast, I will be forever grateful. If you have any questions or anything like that, negative, positive, like we talked about constructive criticism, hit me up. Send me an email, get on my social media, and let me know. I will talk to anybody and have a conversation. So
Wonderful. Howard, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.
Thank you.